the Theseus RDA from HugsVape. Let's have a look. Hey guys, Vick here, back with another review. Today we are looking at this, the Theseus RDA from HugsVape. What is it? It is a 22mm squonky and non-squonky RDA from HugsVape. Brand new company. They did an RTA, now they're doing this, the RDA. It's a single coil RDA. It has a really unique deck, very interesting indeed. It's very raised up and it's on a big V. It's a single coil, squonky RDA, goon tips on top. Quite unique looking as well. It's kind of like a bullet. It's got like sort of a bullet shape to it as well. Daggering down airflow that goes back up through this very unique deck that I'm going to show you in a sec. A really interesting one. A really interesting squonky RDA. A little bit different. And there's a little nugget in here as well because I genuinely building this. When I built this for the first time, I had no idea how this was going to vape. What is this going to vape like? And it actually vapes like something very close to home. So we'll talk about that when we come back up. Okay, let's go down low and have a look at this. Okay guys, here we are down low with the Theseus RDA from HugsVape. Fairly standard packaging. You get squonk pin, normal pin, O-rings, Allen key, all that good stuff. You also get these two drip tips. They're pretty much the same. I guess this one's a little bit narrower bore, but they're very similar anyway, so I don't know what that's about. But this is the RDA. Goon fitting tips. Normal goon tips do fit. 8-10 drip tips, I should say. They fit fine. This is what it looks like going around. So you've got your goon tip at the top. You've got your adjustable airflow here, like this. And obviously that is dual-sided. It's a split barrel. So this is the top bit of the barrel. This is the bottom bit of the barrel. Oh, and I'll just say right now while we're looking at this, it's available from HugsVape and it's about 20 quid. Just in case I forget later on. So very affordable. It does feel well made. It feels quite nice. No major issues there. Squonk pin installed, as you can see, but it's a piece of cake to swap that out as always. So let's pull it open. This is the top bit of the barrel. No major chamfering or anything like that. No major like doming or anything like that on the top cap, but you are very close to the top cap with your coil. Look at that. So I guess it's not really necessary on this because the coil is very highly positioned to your mouth hole. So there we go. So this is the initial step. If we take off the other bit of the barrel as well. Okay, so this is the other bit of the barrel. There we go. Looks like that, and obviously you've got your AFC in that bit, two O-rings. Job's a good one. 22mm RDA, by the way. And this is the deck. So really sort of unique deck. So it's got this, it's got these air holes coming from either side that get fed in from the air intake here. They go down and then back out of all these holes here, and it does seem to work. It does seem to create a tasty vape. So you've got your coil right in the center there. Now I've put mine quite high, but obviously I could have dropped that down another couple of mil quite easily. So there is a bit of scope for choosing how you want to have it, which is quite nice. Yeah, that's good. That's all good. So yeah, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's you've got there's your hole, there's your little flathead. I would have preferred it to be a grub screw or a Phillips. I'm not a big fan of flatheads in these sort of things, but yeah, flathead there and there. So you just clamp it down in a postless style, and obviously your wick bows right down here, sort of dead rabbit-esque, I guess. You just put a big wall of cotton down here, and it looks like that. Now I'll put some cotton in here and we'll have a look at that. Nice fluffy bit of cotton, straight down the middle, pull it out the other end, fluff it back up. There we go. Get some scissors, measure it out. You want it down to the bottom of the deck really, so just go about there. Same on the other side. Just eyeballing this, but I'll tweak it later. Brush it out a little bit, not major, and tuck it down. Tuck it down here like this. It's one of those where you can put an absolute bucket load of cotton down because of the nature of the deck. Get that back in focus. You can just get all that cotton down there, no danger at all. I don't want it any like that there, but there we go, straight down there. Tie that up when we've got juice on. Same again down this side. Obviously, in my opinion, this squonks better than it drips, because when you drip you are going to get some juice on top of here and here. I think this is squonking RDA. I think that's what its sole purpose. That's what that's what it's intended for. Obviously, if you're a pull your top cap offer and paint your wicks, as we say, then obviously that's an option for you. But I don't know. I think it squonks like a charm. So I'll show you it squonking in a minute. So there we go. That's it wicked up. No bother. Just two big lumps of cotton down each side. Let's get it all juicy. Okay, so got it quite juicy now. Juiced up a treat. As you can see, some of the juice does stay down in the bottom of the deck, so it does sort of feed up quite nicely. If we give it a squonk, you can see it's just feeding the bottom of there and working its way up very nicely. When you put the barrel on, the bottom piece of the barrel, you can squonk it even harder. Look at that, juicing it right up, no bother with the brilliant Basium from Dovpo. So yeah, so it juices up really nice and squonks very, very well. So it's all juiced up. Top piece back on, and there we go. We're ready to use this now. The Theseus RDA from HugsVape. Okay guys, that was the Theseus RDA down low. Really interesting deck, really unique deck. I was genuinely excited building this. I was genuinely excited to put this together when I got it. I just did not know how it would vape. Now, I said it vapes like something we already know and like. It does, and as soon as I vaped it and realised it was similar to that, it all made perfect sense. Maybe you've guessed it below in the comments, I don't know. But the Recurve RDA from Mike Vapes and Watofo, it actually vapes very similar, which makes perfect sense because the Recurve RDA was a big U of holes all up alongside like that, and this is a V of holes all the way up alongside like that. The difference with this to the Recurve, you're slightly closer to the coil, it's raised up, so you don't have that issue that you have with the Recurve, that the squonking juice has to go over those holes and back down again. This has sort of found a solution to that problem, if you like. I don't know how aware HugsVape were of the Recurve when designing this. I don't think they'll have set out to do the Recurve and put a fix in it. I just think it's turned out to vape very, very similar to the Recurve, which we like. So yeah, so it's got all those holes underneath. It's a single coil. The coil fits really snugly right in the middle of that V, and so it does give off a really Recurvy style vape. A really nice vape, very good flavour. It's very punchy, and what I mean by that is because the coil is right at the top of the RDA, it's close. It's close to your drip tip. It's close to your mouth. So if you have a poppy building here, you know that spits juice for whatever reason, you know you are very close to the target here on this. So That's the thing with the way it vapes, but flavour is on point and it squonks very, very well indeed. You can basically fill up that whole bottom section and it just feeds the wicks really close to the actual coil, which I think is great. It does work very, very well. Great flavour, easy to build, and a very nice draw. Now the adjustable airflow on here, I've been vaping it like exclusively wide open. When you close it down, and close it down so it's almost like a hole on each side instead, it starts to get quite noisy at this point. It still works very well and it still vapes very well like that if you like a lower wattage or what have you, but it gets quite noisy at that point. Whereas fully open, it's not too noisy at all. So that is one slight negative. Another aspect of this RDA is it's a two barrel, it's like a split cap. So when you're messing around with it, it's always best to just pull off the top section here and leave that bottom section routed on. That is by far the best way to do it. But it fits in nice big coils, very tasty vape indeed. Very saturated, it squonks very, very nicely indeed. I don't think it's brilliant looking. I don't think it's a particularly nice looking RDA. It's got that sort of weird bullet or fish type look to it. You know, it's got like scaly pattern on and it's like a bullet shape. I don't know, it's got like a bit of a fish thing going on. I don't think it's a particularly good looking RDA, but it's very well put together, really good flavour, squonks very well, super easy to build. You know, super easy to wick. It's been pretty good. The reason I recommend taking the top cap off and not the whole thing is mainly because it's got that Kennedy effect on the wicks. If you take the whole cap off, there's every chance that your wicks will slightly, you know, fan up. They'll slightly get messed up by pulling the cap off. So I do strongly recommend pulling that top bit of cap off. It's also got one of those locking features as well, so it comes on and off very nicely, which is great. It comes on and off the mod very nicely, which I really like. But obviously when you're putting the whole cap, not just that top cap down, you do have to find that little groove by spinning it around a little bit. But no, I think this vapes really well. I don't think it's mind-blowing. I don't think it's setting the world apart. You know, I don't think it's a revolutionary RDA, but it's an interesting new deck. And it vapes really well. It doesn't juice up the air holes like the recurve, but vapes in a very similar way. I'm not saying it in any way replaces your recurve. If you've got a recurve and you like it, maybe have a look at one of these. But, you know, like I always say, don't throw your recurve in the bin. I think it's a really solid RDA. I think it's a nice effort from HugsVape. I'm quite impressed. And, you know, it's good to see a new company pumping out something interesting and new. And overall, I'm quite impressed with this. I think it's quite natty. And so yeah, I'm enjoying the vape. I think it's pretty good RDA. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you've got one or if you're thinking about getting one. Like and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you again on the next review. Cheers.